Hello and welcome back to the last 9 holes of the 2023 United States Disc Golf Championship presented by Innova. This man right here, Kyle Klein, is on fire. Yeah. Let's see if he can keep it going. You're watching JomezPro with Nate Sexton, Jeremy Koling, and Paul Ulibarri.
And we've been talking about the front 9, and 6 under has been one of the best scores we've seen, if not the best score that we've even heard about here this week on the front 9. And Kyle Klein has done that in a position where he already started the round off with a 3-shot lead. I mean, essentially, minus a spit out on 8 and the missed putt on 1, played the entire front 9 perfectly. I mean,
He really did.
Unbelievable. And the card, I mean, the field is trying to make some catch up, but they're really just catching up to second, maybe even third. Right now, if Kyle Klein can continue his ways, he is going to be hoisting the trophy, and he's going to make amends for coming up second a few years ago with Longbath.
You know, Nate, you alluded to this hole right here. This is one of the stroke and distance holes. I gotta believe he's gonna go over in 1, and then if he misses drop zone, is this a spot where he could maybe lay up left?
You couldn't fault him for doing that, but he's gonna go.
Wasting no time, and we're going right into it. And
this looks like a laser.
Miss the bush. Miss the bush. It does. It missed the rock. Oh, and now
He went through the bush.
How did it do that?
Well, that's the one thing you're trying to miss. That's aside from the fence and the early tree, you're just trying to avoid that last bush. And he's done so perfectly.
He's on the bricks, I think.
It looked really good.
Isn't that a time where if you're Bradley, you gotta go? Oh, and he throws in the hazard.
Bradley stays right with it.
Also
Around
catching
the bush.
My goodness.
Even closer,
Is he gonna
potentially.
be 8 under?
He's going to go 8 under here on 10.
That's amazing.
Joel Freeman. Who needs a front 9?
This is a solid. Yeah, that's a solid shot there.
Moving a little fast for my tastes.
I got to say, with Brad's power, I am a little shocked to not see him get a little bit more aggressive.
Could have got there side arm. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, yeah, you're fine. I mean, surprised. Maybe he's throwing the white flag and just trying to secure a second. You can't think he's thinking that right now.
I mean, it's got to just be a numbers game for him. He feels like he can get a birdie, just keep trying to chip away. But when the other guy's getting eagles, birdies don't do that much for you, it turns out.
Really?
Oh.
Okay. Just over and in for Sully.
Still going to be probably outside circle putt.
And off right, and need to watch out here. And not too much damage.
There you can
Not
see.
comfy, though.
You could see Kyle's disc in that camera shot. He is so close.
A decent par save. Elevated basket with the wind blowing right to left. And this for eagle.
And to be 8 under through 10.
Unreal.
Whoa.
Unreal.
8 under through 10 with a spit and a miss.
Yeah. And here's Joel with an eagle. No spoilers, because I know you guys are looking at my score when we get to the score check. I finish at 9 under, so sorry to spoil it.
Yeah.
He's 8 under on this hole.
Yeah.
That's crazy to
eagles.
me.
Yeah, but he's been over par on the front 9, so you guys are about square there.
I don't know if that's true, sir.
That's
impressive.
Yeah, to go for it every time, even on the windiest day, and just be able to come through, hit the putt, fantastic. On to hole 11, par 4, 734 with hazard rules the whole way up, so you can expect players to get pretty aggressive here, trying to go for the landing zone on the left right now. That is probably the best spot you can land the disc because then you're down low on the hill. You can see the playing surface all the way up. You can see your way into the green. Really have an easier time controlling your angle, limiting rollaway potential.
And if you're safe down there, max you'll have in is 320.
Yep.
It's a very short shot.
I don't even think you could be 320 and be in bounds down left.
I think you could.
Really? On that very, very short side? Well, that's perfect.
That's absolutely perfect.
As comfortable as you can be, both front and back side of that little strip.
He's dominating. This is a really impressive show.
He's up 9 with 8 to go. This is teetering on territory we just haven't really covered in a really long time. have we ever seen a double-digit major winner?
Back
I'm sure
in
it's
the 90s or
happened.
something.
I mean, but have we, as commentators in the Jomez era,
I
have
don't
we
know
ever
about that.
seen anything like that?
What's Macbeth's biggest win?
I think at the Worlds in 2015.
That is safe?
Really?
Brad Williams
Where did it go that's safe?
Hit
I
the
thought for
tree.
sure it would be Hazard.
on the other side of the hedges, safe.
Oh.
Is what that's the only sense I can make of that. That's not the roll Sully wants. The more right you go, the tougher that angle gets on the second shot. He's still got plenty of power.
Wow. So Brad's laying down here to take a look at that. That's going to be a weird... Well, no, it's Hazard. So he can kind of stand in it a little bit as long as he's not closer to the basket.
Oh, if he was a foot longer, he would have been in the hazard.
Yes.
Oh, wow. That is incredible. And from there, he dials up another gem with a forehand. Unbelievable.
While Brad was down there taking that picture, Sullivan we did miss one shot. He went Hazard from where he was. He threw quickly, and amid the excitement of Brad's crazy lie, nobody saw that shot. So Sullivan has gone into the Hazard. Next shot will be for par for him.
Meanwhile, Joel's content with just kicking butt on the back nine some more. He's going to be 3 under through 10 and 11.
Wow.
And Kyle's just getting greedy at this point.
Too easy.
It looks way too
It's
easy.
way too easy.
It's not, though. It really isn't.
This for par?
You know, something that's standing out to me here looking over the stats, hole 11, it's been one of the hardest holes in the course for a long time. It's always been in the top 5 or 6 most difficult as Brad connects on a huge birdie putt. 3rd easiest hole in the course.
I think that's the Hazard effect.
The hazard effect is certainly showing why the hole is a little bit easier, maybe even a lot easier.
What I mean by that, in case it's not clear, is just that you get to take every bit of distance that you throw. You get your penalty, but you take all 500 feet of your drive. So how bad can it really get if you're at least allowed to move up?
When this,
Oh, go ahead, Jerm.
I was going to say, when this hole was stroke and distance, this was one of the most brutal holes because of the slopes. You see a lot of forehands come in here, they roll back down, and you're right back where you were 350 feet away.
Well, and I was going to say that friendly wind as well the last couple days. As soon as that flips into a headwind or maybe even a heavy right to left, it's going to play a lot tougher.
9 shots over second right now.
I just
With
did a little
7 to go.
I just did a little research. Macbeth 2015 at the World Championships won by 9, went into the final 9 with a 12-shot lead.
Okay. That's before the Jomez
So
era,
that is-
before we were doing
yes.
commentary.
Yes.
Long
it is.
time ago.
And not even double digits, so he's certainly a long way away from that, but it's just something to keep an eye on because this is just incredible.
This is a layup play.
I love it.
Yeah,
Yep,
me too.
stroke and distance hole. Nate, you talking about 10, 12,
17.
and 17.
Yeah, I absolutely love that play. He's got a huge landing zone. The biggest landing zone on this hole is for the second shot layup if you choose to take it. That's where the fairway is at its absolute widest. Joel does not get the flip he needed. He's going to have to go to the drop zone.
Drop zone, not that different of a spot from where his drives have been landing. He should be pretty comfortable from that distance. Brad, this is looking so good. So good.
Down near the drop zone. Yes, on the pad momentarily. So that's nice. You practiced from that distance before.
Sully, round 2, we saw big forehand. Round 3, we saw OB forehand. And this is repeating round 3.
Yeah, and this sort of illustrates why I think at least I was so mind blown by the good one
It was
that he threw.
unbelievable.
Because to not overflip it like that, it's just incredible. And the last 2 rounds we've seen sort of the other side of that.
To achieve that distance with one angle hyzer was just really like kind of blowing both of our minds.
Yes. Okay, got to have this one. Got to start chipping away at some point.
Oh, how many times do you see the high grass swallow up the disc as they're trying to get back in bounds? Brad is able to do so. That's a big, big break in his favor. Yeah, Joel's locked in from that distance on this hole. It's going to be a good par save.
Yeah, eating up all that distance off the tee and knowing that you can just go straight to the drop zone. It's it's not an easy drop zone by any stretch of the imagination, but you can see these guys kind of dialed in from that distance.
Yes.
It's a long forehand from back there, so it makes it look very easy once again, and that's going to be a very good look for another good par save.
Kyle did so well with that approach, pushing it pretty aggressive. I mean, the first approach, the layup is what I'm trying to talk about. He pushed it very far to where he can go jump putt into the green.
And Brad, when was the last time he chipped into the lead? He's going to do so here.
Gave himself a little clap. Still with a big old smile on his face, even though he's a few over par.
What's there not to smile about?
Oh, a few over par part.
That part,
but
that's one of the parts,
but
yeah.
Does Sully look like a guy who gets bent out of shape about something like that?
Doesn't look like that guy.
No.
At all.
Looks like he's soaking up every moment here. Girlfriend caddy Cynthia Ricciardi out there giving fist bumps to Kyle. Appreciating what she's seeing right now, and so are we all. Aaron Gossage won back at Brad Williams.
I've purchased 60 acres of land in Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
I am designing a disc golf course for the one and only Dylan Cease.
Hole 13, par 4, 818 feet up and over the hill. Big wide hyzer, right hand backhand, or flex backhand are the most common plays. Probably see Sully go to the big forehand. Got to stay to the left of this path, and we're back in that long and harder to reach position, which I think is where you're going to want to see it if you're trying to chase Kyle Klein down. This is a hole where birdie is likely to claw back a stroke. You wouldn't think Kyle would have a lot of incentive to push on this hole. We will see.
Brad with the safe big hyzer play right into the middle. That'll give him options. Kyle trying to just match that. I think he'll take matching whatever Brad does for the final 5 holes. Or 6 holes? 6 holes. Wide, but that's going to be fine.
How far out do they have from that hyzer play?
I think
to the
they're
pin?
450.
Yeah.
450 to 460 is my guess.
And that's safe. The other side of the path is the line. Yeah, this hole is so far. This is a huge forehand and perfectly played. Just a little hang up, but I really don't think that hurts him. That was not going to reach the green. That was going to be, at best, I think about a 60-footer, 50, 60, and he's only a little bit more than that now. Should be a pretty simple approach.
Bradley is kind of dialed in.
Yeah.
Even though this goes a little bit right, that's a great angle, and he's going to be able to probably just pitch out, get a par.
I feel like he's been dialed in for months.
He really has. He made that European trip look like he was one of the
Picked up a big win over there.
Yeah.
Picked up an 8-tier win over Macbeth in Sweden.
So Kyle's drive was huge. He's just going to go for the pin anyway, because what else can he do from way up here? But they're all getting pulled into the woods on this side. There's some trouble to be had over there, but I don't expect it to be too bad for them.
There's a head right to left on that second shot, and to try to achieve that much distance, you risk turning it over and going out of bounds, and that's a mistake you can't make. So the mistake they did make is one that you can live with. Off to the left side, par is perfectly fine. But it gets...
Yeah, you can see how this could be
tricky
a problem.
and sticky. Yeah, this is not where you really want to be left with.
Wow.
Nice. Does he have a look? That's
I think so. I think he's
Okay,
got it.
yeah,
I think he's
okay.
fairly open. Yeah. Edge of circle. Maybe a little closer. And just
Oh, wow.
parked.
Okay.
Really nicely done.
Pressure on Brad here. What pressure?
Beautiful putt.
The putt has looked gorgeous today, aside from one. It's been very nice.
Brad also had a top 10 at the European Open after we see the good putt there from Sully. Very similar track to this, I feel like.
Yeah,
as far
I
as the distances, staying in controlled,
Well,
or
I
in
know
control.
Jussi Maresma and Juho Rantalaiho are two guys who have come over here and spent a lot of time playing Stan McDaniel design courses, the USDGC, and they've taken a lot of that design philosophy back with them to Europe. So I'm not surprised that you see some courses in Finland, especially the Beast, to have some influence from Winthrop.
That lead's not doing much, is it?
No, he's got 5 left with an 8-shot lead. It's getting comfy.
Yeah, I mean, on a hole like this, I don't even mind playing right of the path
Way
in the
right of it.
situation he's
Yeah.
in. I mean, it's time to start protecting, I think, at this point. Your lead is huge.
Yeah, this is when the game plan changes.
Go ahead and let them birdie every hole. Make sure that you
Yes.
play in such a way that birdieing every hole does not hurt you. Bradley birdieing every hole does not hurt you. And clearly all pars would do that for him now.
I don't think this is going to be in bounds. Or is it?
Wow.
It spikes in. Yesterday, he threw a similar line that stood up and rolled. This time,
He's still going
Gets the knife.
sidearm, but is he going to try to play it wide?
yes.
I think this is smart.
That is wide.
Yeah.
That's not
That's
playing
as
for the pin.
safe as you can do it.
Well, like you said, a bogey absolutely hurts him if somebody birdies.
Yeah.
Because then it shrinks and then it's 6. And 6 is pretty terrifying out here, even with 4 holes
Yes,
left. Because
yes.
if they birdie everything,
Yes.
I mean, 6 is 1-2 stroke swing from 4. And you
Yes.
don't want to go into 17, 18 with 4.
no. You want to
Well,
go in
you
with
do.
9.
You do.
You do.
Let's
Yes.
say, I'll take it.
Yeah, you
but
want
right
if you're
now.
Kyle, you don't want
No,
that.
not
but
if you've already tasted 9. If you've tasted a 9-shot lead, you don't want anything to do with a disgusting, salty 4-shot lead.
salty and Sully unable to get past the hay bales and the rocks, ends up staying in the hazard area. And Joel's gonna just try to forget hole 14 this week. Has not been his friend in round 3 and 4.
Oh, that looks so good.
He's had a couple misses just like that today, just a bit low, right on line.
Kyle, don't be silly. That's silly.
Oh,
I expect he'll be fine from there, and maybe it's a
That-
good wake-up call that
he got
says,
halfway there.
what did we just see?
What?
Bradley lays it up.
So the 2 people are playing protect mode now.
I mean, he is.
Brad just clapped. I think that is a white flag.
It certainly looked that way. There's no way you lay that up unless you're just trying to defend second place.
Which, why wouldn't you right
Yeah,
now?
sure.
It's such a huge lead.
Sure, yeah,
And
you-
he's
the
just
last thing you
birdieing
wanna do-
everything.
I mean, the way Brad's been putting, that putt doesn't scare me so bad, but either way, I mean, sure, if you feel like you're looking at the UDISC, you know what the scores are, you feel like you got a game plan that gets you second place. Second place is $20,000.
20 grand.
20?
Yeah.
First place is $30,000. Second place is $20,000.
Oh, bro, we won in the wrong years.
So there's something to be said about just trying to defend your position, play smart, be realistic when you're back by 8 shots. But looking at the scores, man, Brad isn't that safe in second place. I'm color me surprised. I'm a little surprised
the
that
booth is shocked.
he doesn't go for that putt. Hole 15, par 4, 539. Low ceiling because of that triple Mando. You got to navigate through that, then pull hard to the left. The low screaming backhand is the best option. This is ideal. It's going to run around the corner.
Not going to see many drives ever better than that. I mean, you see players go with a big power speed shot, which is what I think Kyle will try to do. And he does it really well.
Yeah, and that's such a big shot. When you have the lead, you start to think about like nightmare scenarios when you're in his position. You're not just thinking, oh, this is going to be so easy, let me just throw the shots. You're thinking, what if I miss that and then I go hazard and then I miss 17 twice and then it's windy on 18? You know, that's the scenarios you're running, right? So for him to step up and just throw a confident shot, dead center through the Mando, low, no iffy scariness about it, really big.
I think that's what Brad's seeing.
Look at these.
You know,
drives.
he's like, this guy is not missing
Look at
a
that
shot.
forehand.
Yes.
Because let me remind you,
That's incredible. Right
Sullivan's over par.
Yes.
Joel, I believe, is pretty close to over par.
They're way out of it. Yeah.
And he's watching it, and then he's watching Kyle just birdie everything.
And when he doesn't birdie, it's on his terms. Like the times he hasn't birdied has been almost by design.
And he's going to have another look for birdie. It's going to be just outside C1. What an incredible forehand late turning drive for Sullivan. I mean, that is just birding this whole forehand is some technical mastery.
He likes doing it.
What I liked about Brad's drive is that it just looked like he just so softly just placed it there.
And it's so good if you could do it, because to power through, then you were dealing with a lot of trees.
Yes.
Where he put it, you couldn't hardly set it in an easier spot.
Exactly. Like Joel, power shot. A lot of skip angle, all that, hits the trees, not really predictable on the landing.
And he doesn't have just any old shot you want.
That's
He's got to straddle around trees. He's got to do something a little more awkward. Kyle does not hit the putt. But I think frustrating in the moment, but at the end of the day, par is the name of the game.
Yes.
So nothing to be too worried about.
Beauty.
That is a very nice putt after wayward approach, I'd say, from that drive. And Brad, he's not laying this putt up.
Brad's on a nice little streak.
Yeah, he is.
No red in the scorecard. That's always good out here. Watching Brad mature over the years, both in his game and his mentality in the sport, has been one of my favorite things to watch. Mm-hmm. It's been a friend of all of ours in the booth going back to mid-2000s. So seeing him on this stage, I think we were all kind of vicariously rooting for him to do as well as possible, just knowing that he's one of those players from our generation. Selfishly, I'm always pulling for him in a way.
Yeah, not only has he matured on the course, but the way that he acts on the course has completely flip-flopped over the years.
Yes.
Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Down.
Hole 16, par 3, 391 with hazard all the way around the hole. Straight backhand right at the basket is probably your best play here. A little bit of a tailwind most of the day today, so long is a little bit more in play, the long miss, than it normally would be. A little bit difficult to slow the disc down.
Does this get on hyzer in time?
It just fights its way through.
Finds the
How many times have we seen a drive look like that, end up kicking into the hazard? That time Brad misses them perfectly. He's got to look for another birdie.
like
As long
this.
as this flips. Oh, it's actually flipping too quick, but still quite good.
Slide, slide,
Wow.
slide, slide, skip, bounce.
Yeah.
That was awesome. It looks a little tight, and it was, but gets through.
Yep.
I think ideally he'd like to send that all the way around that outermost branch as it hyzered back into the green, but the result.
So if you're Kyle here, anywhere safe, I think. And I don't know that this
Ooh.
is going to do that, actually. I think this is, yeah, that's
That finds hazard.
definitely a mistake.
Yeah, you'd like to see. I mean, obviously going for birdie is fun, and he's in a comfortable place. But why not just pitch it up the middle and just kind of mosey your way through 17 and 18?
Or just make this. No, he's not going to. So
First blemish.
opportunity for a 2-stroke swing. And I mean, we've said it so many times. Hole 17, it can pop up and get you at any time.
Mm-hmm.
Brad needs this one. Brad gets it. And you can see he knows what that means. Every bit of pressure you can apply when you're in Brad's position. As we said, Kyle's running the nightmare scenario. Kyle's calculating based on if I were to take an 8, which is the highest conceivable score you can really make on 17.
And not only that, he's running through other options. Do I lay it up short?
Sure.
Should I putt it? Like, what should I do? Do I keep with my game plan?
Lots of things to think
Yeah,
about.
Brad's definitely doing what he needs to do.
5 shots. I mean, that seems tiny. From what we've been watching this entire back nine and most of the front nine, 5-shot lead is going to feel smaller than it is.
I mean, we were just saying 4 shots, like we were making that our example, but in reality, it ends up being 5 shots, which is, I guess I didn't think that we would be in this position a few holes ago.
You would love to have 5 shots.
Oh, of course. Of
mean-
course. I mean,
But not if I had 9 just a few holes ago.
Yes.
It just comes down to, now it comes down to being as simple as make the green and you win. I think
Yep.
for Kyle.
I
Klein.
agree.
Make the green here and you win the tournament.
Makes the green. The worst he could do is be down 4 going into 18. That's a pretty sweet spot to be in.
And Bradley has the opportunity to put a lot of pressure right here.
Either to put pressure on or to take pressure off with his drive. Can he keep it close? No, not really.
It's not super close, but it is safe.
It's a good shot, but it's not.
Yes.
I wouldn't call it a likely birdie.
But when you're playing and you have a lead, it seems like 9 times out of the 10, the person makes that
Yeah,
putt,
sure.
doesn't it?
Sure.
Well, I mean, think about the
Wow, what a shot.
great shot from goal. Think about the putts we've seen on 17 over the last few years.
Yes.
With Paul Macbeth, with Gannon Burr last year.
Yes.
There have been some incredibly clutch putts hit on this green.
So if I'm Kyle Klein, I am going,
Oh,
whoa.
yo, Sullivan off the band.
What a
Trying
shot.
to ace twice in the tournament.
If I'm Kyle Klein, this is going almost to the tee of hole 18. Just way over there to the right, to the fattest part of the green. High, almost spike hyzer with the forehand.
Oh, my goodness. Come
Wow,
on. Why
that was
not just go
close.
in?
That was so close.
Just go. Give him 2 aces on lead card.
What a crazy one to go after, too.
I saw Casey White hit the top of the basket here as well today.
All right. Comes down to this.
I like the pace.
Low.
I love it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, you know he was thinking,
Oh,
go,
that felt short.
go,
Yeah.
go, go.
It felt short because it was pretty short. You don't want to clear it only by a little bit.
See if he
But
gives
this
himself a
is
little bit.
fantastic.
Okay, yeah. I don't want to see him leave it short like he did on 14 a few holes ago, but that one's going to be pretty safe, and he's going to have at least 4 going into 18.
All right, got to have it.
Man. It's this little area right here. He missed his putt, went in the water on 5, missed his putt low on 1, and 17. All 3 of these baskets are within 300 feet of each other. Just this little spot here. Brad just couldn't get it done here on this green. And so that means Kyle will go to the final hole of the 2023 USDGC with a 5-shot lead.
And I would expect
Just a dream scenario.
you would expect him to play for double bogey in this situation.
Yes.
Super short, top of the hill, straight shot, down around the corner, tap it home.
They were giving me a hard time for talking to players. I'm like, I'm standing here. I am not talking to the players. Kyle kept coming over and talking to me. I'm like, dude, focus on what you got to do, bro.
Who is giving you a hard time?
Rebecca Duffy. She was giving me a hard time about. It was joking. It was in jest.
Hole 18. This is it. Par 4. Only 647 feet to a major championship for Kyle Klein. Keep it in between these ropes as much as possible, young man, and watch your dreams come true.
Yeah, he doesn't need any kind of distance off this first shot. Just something up the hill a little bit, safe in the middle. One of the latest sweatshirt grabs in USDGC history. As Joel Freeman puts that on him.
Oh, no.
That is brutal.
Time
That's
to take this sweatshirt off.
Not deserved.
It doesn't work.
That's a terrible roll.
That is a really bad roll. Man. I didn't even hit with that much angle at the top of the hill. It's the one spot you do feel comfortable landing.
Rocket ship.
You're not lying, dude. Look at this.
It's so flat up there. It's just so good.
Okay. Don't do that, Kyle. Don't try to throw it way up there.
Do it. Yeah, I mean, go for it.
No, don't.
All right, don't do it. It's probably smart.
Brad's going to throw a nice controlled shot, just kind of normal game plan type play.
Right into the flat bowl. That's nearly perfect. It's the same disc that Kyle threw a couple holes ago and went into the hazard. This one's turned over a little bit
this
too much.
might roll.
That's it.
Ooh, wow. So super early OB
Well,
and potentially the sign kind of in the run up.
But he's taking your advice. He's playing for double bogey.
No, he's not. Well, that's not how I meant to do it, is I guess what I would say. I will say, again, from speaking from experience, I was in a very, boy.
This is
What's
not
No
it.
way, no way.
Don't do.
Oh, this is disaster now.
That is not an easy upshot from there.
Okay, let's run through this real quick. If he goes for the green, thinking that he has to, and somehow finds OB, he
Well,
could be in a
this-
situation.
This dictates everything. This shot right here dictates everything.
I was getting to it.
Well, it's here now.
You're right.
I love it.
What a clutch shot.
Oh, Brad. Pressure applied.
So Brad's 26. Go ahead, mark it. 26 under.
Wow. And you got to wonder, is he... he's not thinking about 14, but in his head, is he wishing?
Kyle Klein can win with a 7.
Yes.
Kyle Klein is throwing his 5th.
He controls his destiny with 7.
He should be fine. He should be able to still lay up twice
Two times.
if he's got his math right, and if I have my math right, he should still be able to lay up 2 times. Go with his 5th and his 6th. Tap in the 7 for a 1-shot win. But oh my goodness, has this tightened up at the very end?
Yes. And I don't know if you recall this or not, as Sully has thrown a beautiful shot here. There was some confusion with UDISC and live scoring going on when Kyle and Macbeth had their situation, Kyle being on the chase card. So he's really doing the math right now, just making sure he keeps it in. Yes, okay.
Job done.
That's game over.
Should be laying
Pitch it
that
under the
up.
basket, win the tournament by 1 stroke.
By 1. And remember Brad's putt on 17.
Remember his putt on 14.
His putt on 14.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, everything changes, admittedly, if he's a few strokes better. There it is, folks.
Okay.
There's your champion.
Wild.
But boy, oh boy, were we right, I guess, when we were thinking, you want to get to the end with some strokes in your pocket. He's going to exhaust every last one of them.
The bid for the championship is going to come up a stroke short for Brad. But wow, what an incredible performance.
One of the best tournaments of his life.
Yes.
Certainly the biggest paycheck of his life, $20,000.
Wow.
And he just kind of veteran through the round, and he knew more than us because Kyle pulls that a little bit. It rolls. Something happens on that upshot. Bradley looks like a genius.
Yeah.
With those layups. So don't forget about that, too.
Sure.
$20,000 used to be the mark for a journeyman on the season.
Sure.
$20K would be a good season.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Brad just going to cash that in. Kyle Klein, 10K
Here
on top
it
of that.
is.
And there it is. Yep.
United States champion Kyle Klein. Fantastic.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to announce the winner of the 2023 United States Disc Golf Championship, Kyle Klein!
Kyle, you're a United States champion now and forever. How does that make you feel?
It's hard to believe. It's still setting in. I've been too close too many times at this tournament to not have pulled that off, and I'm just glad I had built up enough of a lead throughout the round to know I can make some mistakes coming down the stretch.
How different are the emotions of a major victory compared to winning out on the tour?
I try not to think of it as like a higher, more prestigious event, not because it's not, but in my mind I'm just trying to keep a level head and trying to act like this is just any other tournament because it shouldn't feel any different for me.
Well, Kyle, there were so many emotions. I saw you hug your dad right away. You embraced him. He seemed so proud of you. I mean, he was the first person to push you forward, to tell you, to give you that permission to go play disc golf and skip out on college. Your grandparents were here. I mean, how special is it to share it with them?
It's awesome to have them down here. I know they haven't seen me play in person really ever. It's just awesome. I'm so thankful they were able to make it down here.
Well, Kyle, you made it happen. 1 stroke or 9 strokes, doesn't matter. Is there anyone at home that you'd like to thank? Any final thoughts here after grabbing your first major?
I just want to first and foremost thank my sponsors, Discmania, Grip, Great Lakes Discs, Whale Sacks. They've all helped me out tremendously to find this success out on tour, and all my family that was supporting me and all my family that was out here this weekend, and my girlfriend Cynthia for being by my side.
You're a United States champion, Kyle Klein. Let's go, dude. Come on.
Just a few years removed from winning the NADGT, the National Amateur Disc Golf Tour. He's one of the top level of the amateurs, and now he's one of the top level of the pros.
And this amazing disc golf season just keeps giving. Another guy climbs to the top of the mountain in a huge way. Kyle Klein, major champion. Isaac Robinson, fiery
From
emoji.
fourth card.
He's back. Look at him right there in third. Calvin Heimberg, what do you know? Top 5. He's back just like he always does. Incredible tournament. Well run. 25th USDGC is over, and we've just got the one more week now. One more crazy tournament coming up.
I'm reflecting on too many of these now, thinking about the last week of the season and just how does it keep passing by so fast, guys? Unbelievable. It's been a really exciting season, and I think we're all pretty excited to see what happens here at the Pro Tour Championship with Calvin Heimberg starting off the event with a big lead over the guys that just squeaked in.
Yeah, a lot of the tour, this was their last tournament. It's going to be a little sad not being able to see like a Sullivan Tipton jump up into the ranks and, you know, make a nice little push on the lead card. It seems like that's been happening every tournament. Somebody new. The talent is just getting better. Next year's going to be crazy, but we do have one more.
Now
Nate,
it's Yuli's turn to do a little jump up.
Nate, that's it for you for the season, man.
Yeah, well, you'll catch me on DGN. I'll be bringing you the live next week, but I'm done throwing the things. Thankfully, my goodness, I've been throwing too many of those things. Taking 80th place everywhere I go. I'm done with that. But anyway, it was an honor covering with you guys. Thanks to all the volunteers. Thanks to the cameramen, the editors, the Founders Club. Another major in the books. Glad Jomez got to be at the USDGC, and I hope you guys enjoyed it.